Hi everybody. Yep, it's been a while again. Well, this is day 42, week number 6, that I have passed up on not being a smoker. Some other things have developed. Let's go with the fact that I'm not really seeing much at all. I mean, I can't read anything. I can see a difference in color, so I got pointed to where the dots are and stuff that I need for doing this video. So that's what I'm doing, is doing this video. This is just to really give up an update. We all know that on March 7th, I collapsed, went to the hospital, couldn't breathe. From that point on, I have been on constant oxygen. I cannot be off of it because my oxygen level will go from, say, 98% while it's on here, all the way down and drops down to like 82 within 10-20 seconds. So I cannot. I did my blood work, found out that my CO2 level in my blood is the highest it can be without me being dead. It's 31. So I'm never going to be able to breathe on my own again, and my life expectancy is more less just days, really, instead of, you know, weeks and months, or even possibly years. So, you know, that's what I'm facing. They have been working, trying to, you know, give me a little bit more longevity, but I don't have that. They changed my medications a little bit. So they had put me on, see, that's another thing. My brain power is going, and words are escaping me so fast these days. It's the M word. Oh my gosh, what is that medication? Anyway, I take lisinopril, hydrochlorothiazide, and yeah, jeez, really, seriously. Hold on a second, let's see if I can get that word come up. So anyway, it's the metoprolol. And so they tried at first to raise the metoprolol and took away the hydrochlorothiazide. Well, that didn't work so great. What happened was I ended up having my lungs squeeze up again from all the fluid buildup. And so I had to go back on the hydrochlorothiazide and went back to half the dose of the, oh my God, whatever. Yeah, the M word. That quick, gone, just that quick, fleeting. This is what all these different medications have been doing to my brain. Anyway, so then we went to, in order to get the fluids down in my body, we went to double the hydrochlorothiazide. Funny how I can remember that name, and it's so long, you know. But, well, that worked some, but it threw me 0.3 away from being diabetic. Full-blown diabetic. Not pre-diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic. And it's not going to take much for the diabetes to kick in now. So, in order to try to prevent becoming diabetic, all the way for insulin management, I, on my own, cut the hydrochlorothiazide back down to the 12.5. And my doctor will learn about that next week. But I'm at the point still right now that my lungs are being squeezed, and It is a lot more difficult to breathe now. No matter how many dual nebs I try to inhale and suck down to, lessen the inflammation in my lungs. And my heart does have to work much more in order to breathe again. So yeah, time's getting really, really short for me. So I wanted to come on here and thank everybody that's been here. Well, I had my 3rd year anniversary on the 8th of April here. And of course, I'd never made that 1,000 subscribers. And I think it was just, one of those things that I really wanted to not have to do any of that at all. But then my eyes started going to crap. And so I wanted to go ahead and get monetized and try to earn a little bit towards getting my eyes fixed. But, and here we are 3 years down the line, and I'm in the midst of dying anyway. So no use for eyeballs, and I was going to go to the dentist and, get my teeth finished being removed and dentures, and there's no need for that any longer. I am trying to keep up some sort of, happy face. Very difficult to do. But I do want to thank every one of you that's been there on my channel. I've lost quite a few since I wasn't able a few months ago to come back on here because of my eyes. And sometimes my eyes will do a little bit better, sometimes they won't. It's got a lot to do with the fact that these medications they've been shoving into me. Please, everybody, if a doctor is going to prescribe you something to take care of the symptoms, don't take it until you absolutely know the ins and outs of the bad crap that can happen from it. Because you don't need to stack medical issues upon medical issues upon medical issues in order to try to solve one symptom. Now, my suggestion is write it down what they want you to take, okay? Don't take it first. Write it down what they want you to take. Do your research on it. Look at the horrible side effects that we have. Thousands of different drugs on the market. And I'm going to tell you that each and every single one of them comes with a side effect. Most of them come with horrendous side effects. And they don't tell you these things. They don't talk with you about what can happen to you. So you really need to watch out for your own health. That is why I am in the position I am in. Because for years I've been going to the same hospital and over heart issues. And sometimes some breathing issues. Well, I chalked up the breathing issues to allergies. Well, I'm now finding evidence that it probably wasn't even allergies. That it was more from the fact that I went from sea level altitude to 45, I think it's around 4,500 feet above sea level. So there's thinner oxygen up here. And not a single doctor bothered to try to figure anything out. I mean, nothing. They didn't send me in for tests. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Until finally about maybe, it was about COVID time, 21, the year after, when I was finally flown to Billings and had a heart cath done. And prior to that, I'd had 2 heart stress tests done. One was a nuclear, one was a regular. Both times I failed those stress tests. Both times they told me my heart was perfect. They couldn't figure out what was going on. Why couldn't I run more than, or even walk more than 2 minutes? Well, more than likely it was lung issues that was going on. And making it difficult for me to breathe, making the heart work harder. And so they would not see the heart working as hard if they weren't just there watching it while it was going. But here I was hooked up to all these wires, and they were supposed to be monitoring it. And no, they told me my heart was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with COPD. Now, I'm going to tell y'all that as long as I was never exerting myself, and even when I was at times, like having to walk to go pick up my granddaughters, I could breathe. I could take in huge, deep lungfuls of air, exhale them. I could breathe. But the moment I started walking, I would start hopping and popping. And that's because my heart was working hard and trying to get oxygen to my body parts, and my lungs were not providing it. So my lungs were not picking up the thin oxygen this elevation has. I don't think there's time enough left for me to be able to test a theory I have that if I were in a lower elevation at this point, would I be having this so bad right now? And would I survive another few years? I don't know, because for one, I can't travel. Not unless I got $100 billion and 8,000, oxygen tanks to take with me so that I can live long enough to get someplace lower down to test that out. So if anybody's in my situation but not as bad, where you can still go without the oxygen up your nose, test that out for yourselves. See if being at a lower elevation helps you breathe better. And quit smoking. Oh, for Pete's sake, please quit smoking. Don't smoke. Now, I'm not saying that smoking did this to me. Smoking played a good part in it, yes. But I was always told for years my lungs were clear, just like my heart was great. Oh boy, I got a wonderful heart. Yes, that's why my entire body collapsed on the 7th of March this year. So, I'm going to say, professionals, they are not. They're just money hungry. They want their kickbacks from the pharmaceuticals. And they're not going to help you. You're going to have to look up ways to help yourself as well. Now, as far as diabetes go, type 2, there are ways to lower your blood sugars and to get back down into normal blood sugars. But if you're taking certain medications, you're not going to find that easy to do, because like with the hydrochlorothiazide, that's got me right, that close to being a diabetic. I can't eat food. I can't drink anything. I have this cup full of ice chips. That's what I get. I have ice. Because I'm not allowed a lot of fluids. And so the ice melts a little slow and you don't get as much, but you get some moisture, right? In your mouth and whatever. I can't have sugar foods, which is pretty much all fruits. I cannot have starches because it turns into sugar in your bloodstream. I cannot have fats, because fats also turn into cholesterol. Cholesterol turns into blood sugars. okay? Lean meats is okay. Lots of vegetables is okay. I don't have the teeth to eat lots of vegetables. So, I am, basically I eat celery. And Marva, I have heard your video where you were talking about how you're quitting smoking and everything. You've been 6 days or 7 days, something like that at that point. 6 or 8 or 7, I don't know, something like that. Believe me, if I can't see something when I'm listening to it, it gets jumbled. It really does. But if you're really craving a cigarette, celery. You're looking for celery, tomatoes, things like that, because they carry nicotine. So it's like a nicotine patch. It can help wean you off the cigarettes. Now, I was doing pretty good with celery, and problem was that somehow the celery my husband just got through buying last week, it's not celery. It can't be celery. I don't know what it is. But it's not even wilting yet. And you can't snap it. I mean, you can snap it and it breaks. It's like, I don't know, trying to break hardened air dry clay. Snaps. Problem. It's still not edible. I've tried and wow, I don't know what happened. I guess our grocer here has gotten produce from a different vendor. I'm not sure, but it's not working for me. So I don't have snacks, and I can't eat many foods. I did find out that everything that's processed these days has salt in it. I can't have salt at all. Because if I do, it traps the fluids in my body, and that builds up around the outside of my lungs and tightens again on my lungs, so I cannot breathe well. Anyways, yeah, I'm just here to say goodbye to everybody. I hope all of you do well in your lives. There's those, I'm going to miss y'all completely. Although, who knows? Maybe we'll meet up on the other side somewhere. But, to you, Jan, I love ya. And thanks for being there. Phone and, texting up until I can't see it to read them or write them. I could use the BIXBY thing, but they updated my phone, and now this Google messaging thing is going on, and it's completely screwed up my whole thing. I can't tell it to open up a message. I can't tell it to read a message. I can't tell it to write a message for me. And if a text comes in, I don't know. It doesn't give me a message. It doesn't sound off. It doesn't vibrate. It doesn't do a damn thing. So I am stuck with, I was up until the blurry became really bad, opening up my messages and looking to see if a new text had come in. And you can only do that so many times a day when you find out nobody's actually texting you. And you give up on it because, hey, nobody wants to talk to you. So anyways, though, yes, love y'all. Suda, I love you too. And I do miss you guys. I miss really sitting and watching all your videos and chatting in the chats and all that stuff. But Life is what it is. It's a bullish, excuse me, but it is. Um, anyway, tomorrow I'm going to be selling everything I have, as much as I can, as fast as I can, so that my husband will have the money to pay for my cremation and for my hospital and doctor bills. At least there's, oxygen concentrator for home that he can sell. I bought a bunch of travel ones off of Temu, 4 of them. One's already gone back, 3 more to go back. Because the travel oxygen concentrators, they do what's called a pulse burst. So if it detects your breath, it goes poof and sends you oxygen. Well, by that time you've already inhaled. So the oxygen that gets sent to you is kind of already lost. It's in the netherworlds. And there's a whole bunch of them that's going to say that it's at 96% purity across the different liter levels. No, it's not. They drop pretty good on some of them, really severe. I have to have in between 88 and 96 in my bloodstream, okay? 88 at the lowest, because anything other than that, and I'm risking heart attack season. Well, these travel ones, I have dropped into 78 on some of them. So, no, I had to hurry up and rush and get my regular cannula on, and let's get some air. And since I'm already struggling for air, it's difficult to bring that back up. But the other 3, they're going to have to go bye-bye. Go back to Temu. People need to be aware that those travel ones, even the real expensive ones like Inogen and such, their travel ones, it'll say like 6 liters, but it's not the purity that you need. See, there's a difference between how many liters of air it puts out as opposed to the purity of the oxygen it puts out. If the oxygen is not that pure, like, you take your oximeter and you put it on and you're sitting there doing this little number and trying to get your numbers up. What does that say? 99, I believe, because it's upside down. Anywho, that's what I have to keep myself at, and I'm still struggling to breathe. And that's on a 4 liter, I believe, right now. Is it still on the 4? Or is it 4.5? It's on the 4.5. And I'm still struggling to breathe because the purity I found out on the home concentrator, this one here that I have, its purity is rated at 96. So if I get up and I move around, like say to the bathroom, it can drop the purity level as I'm breathing pretty badly. And so I struggle still. And as I said, it's starting to get worse again. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter to breathe. And the best I can do, I mean, I'm not even going to go back to the hospital. It's ridiculous. More bills to be left behind for others to pay. I can't do it. I just can't. It's not going to gain me any more life. So, sorry I'm talking so much, but I'm bored to death. absolutely bored to death. And anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have fun. 4th of July is coming up in America here. It is our 250th anniversary of the beginning of our country. And I want y'all to remember to celebrate it, but celebrate it wisely. Remember, we do have service personnel who have been into the wars and such, and into fight zones. And some are suffering PTSD. Some, maybe not as deep as PTSD, but, you know, it can still startle them. Same thing for dogs. Dogs don't like the kabooms and the pops and all that stuff. And, I mean, I do love the fireworks and everything. They're all pretty. But I've gained a little bit more knowledge as I aged. Me, it just drives my nerves when it goes. It's that high whistle. Yeah. I can still hear pretty well, unfortunately. So again, I'm going to try to bring up that M word. He says metoprolol, and I know that's metoprolol, but I keep wanting to say mono something. Oh, because I've been looking at monotriglycerides and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's why. It's not just that the medication's screwing my brain up. Alright, love y'all. Peace out. Oh yeah, wait a minute. That too. Peace out. Okay, somewhere down in here. It's not red anymore because it's recording, so we'll just guess.